Hey everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Well, we made it through Friday. It's the weekend. Hope everybody's got some big plans this weekend. Hope everybody's going to get good weather. If you can get some, I would highly recommend some watermelon. The weekend will just be better with watermelon. You'll stay hydrated. You'll enjoy it. Your kids will enjoy it. And yeah, it'll just make the weekend a little bit more fun. I want to talk today about which raw food diet for you. Which raw food diet plan for you. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. So as I was thinking about this, which raw food diet plan for you? What's the one for you? And I'm not talking about your paid version from your favorite guru that outlines step by step, kind of like, you know, do my program, my plan, and you will get this, and this. I'm just talking about in the bigger sense, a plan. You know, we've talked about the raw food, like having a plan on a raw food diet. And I've also talked about the fact that I don't have a plan on the raw food diet, that I'm absolute chaos. So, you know, I'm not like, I just always make that clear that this is not necessarily my approach, and I'm going to kind of talk about it from a few different angles, and that's why I'm talking about which plan is right for you, because we all have different personality types. When it comes down to that, I think of a historical quote, by any means necessary. By any means necessary. If you want to get to a certain place, you do whatever it takes for you to get there. You don't do what I say I need to do to get there, because we're all individuals. You know, our processes are different. There's trillions and trillions of cells in our body, and I mean, like I say, we're just all very unique, different individuals. And what works for one person is not necessarily going to work for another. Most people, from what I understand and what people tell me, would be a train wreck if they were trying to do the approach like I do. They need a little bit more structure. They need a little bit more planning. And especially in the beginning, I would say, you know, having a plan is a little bit more suggested, I would say, definitely in the beginning. You know, if you figure this thing out and you can kind of become intuitive with it, then you can let up. But don't be, I guess what I'm trying to get around to is, don't think you're the tough guy or the tough girl. You know, don't be too tough to have a plan. There's nothing wrong. Have a plan. Do whatever you need to do to make this lifestyle work for you, to make your health work for you. Now, as I say, I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan, you know. Most days I get up. I guess my body has a plan for me, because I do get into these patterns like I'm in right now, where I'm eating the same things. I'm eating in a general way. So I do sort of have a plan, but it wasn't a cerebral plan. Like I say, my body has just decided what the plan is for right now. Some people, they need it detailed out. They need to write down everything. They need to, you know, write down what they're working on. They need to write down things to watch out for. They need a very detailed plan. Some people might need a plan that is down to the detail of, okay, I'm going to start in the morning and I'm going to have X amount of ounces of juice, and then I'm going to eat at 10 o'clock, and then I'm going to eat at this time. They may know everything they're going to eat. They may have their food prepared ahead of time. And if that's what somebody has to do, that might seem a little tedious, but remember, this is our health. A lot of times we need to take a step back and think about the way we look at things, the way we talk about things, the way we see things. Any of this stuff that's looked at as extreme, or, well, I just, you know, that's not practical, I don't really have the time. Think about it. This is our most precious commodity. It's taking us through life. If the body shuts down, if the body stops, it's game over. It doesn't matter, you know, how smart, how witty, whatever, game over. So, you know, I believe you do whatever you need to do to take care of your body. And if that means, if you've established for yourself that a raw food diet, and I'm not saying it, I'm not preaching, I'm saying if you've established for yourself that a raw food diet is a high priority in your life, you will do whatever you need to do to make it work. And if you're one of those that sits around and says, yeah, but I don't have this, and you've got an excuse, well, I don't have that, you don't believe it enough, or it's not a high enough priority. And once again, not judging, and you scale down from that and you make healthy changes in your life, but just know you always have control of most things. You know, anything that doesn't defy the laws of physics, almost, you have a say in it. You can control it. It may not be easy, it can be really difficult, but you have the control there. So you just have to choose what's right for you. Some people can have a looser plan. I mean, you know, there's in between, kind of like me, who doesn't really have a plan. They just, you know, okay, what's around right now? What's my body feeling right now? I'm eating these fruits, or I'm eating heavy on greens. So I have no plan. You have some people, and I've seen that, and it's worked for them, and they've gotten there where they have a detailed plan, like I'm talking about, like down to, okay, this is what I'm going to eat. I've got my food ready for tomorrow. A lot of people will prep their food for the next day, and that's a step. That's even planning to the next level, where it's as easy as possible and it's right there for you. You know, there's no foolproof. It's harder to slip when it's just so easily out for you. So you could even go that far as to have a plan, not only know what you're going to eat the next day, but have most of the stuff already laid out for you, or even some of your meal prep done. Once again, let me keep going back to that phrase, by any means necessary. If you deem it a priority, you will scratch, you will claw, you will figure out a way to do it. And if not, you'll move on to the next thing, and you'll be dabbling in some other hobby or whatever in 6 months, and you'll be telling lies over there and well, I can't do and this and blah, blah, blah. But it's all about, we decide things up here. Most everything happens up here. And the mind is very powerful. If we set our mind to something and we have a plan to go from there, we can accomplish a lot of things. Okay, now you've got those two extremes, and then you have somewhere in the middle. And you have a lot of degrees in between there, a lot of room in the middle. You know, there might be somebody that needs, okay, I need a plan. I need a little bit of a plan, but I don't have to have detail. I just need to know that, you know, tomorrow I'm going to try to eat this amount. I'm going to eat this for breakfast, this for dinner, more or less, or I'll have, not exactly like I'm going to have 4 mangoes, this and that, but you kind of have an idea of the type of food you're going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and then what you'll do for dinner. So like I say, you know your personality type, and this is something that only you can decide for yourself. But like I say, don't make it any harder than it has to be, and don't hang on to pride like, well, I don't need to do this. Do whatever you got to do. Do whatever you got to do to get there. So if you need to have an elaborate plan, make an elaborate plan. If you can have a looser plan, have a looser plan. But having a plan of some sort, if you're struggling, is the only thing in other words, if you don't have a plan and you're struggling, well, then nobody can really help you, and nobody really needs to take the time to help you. If you have a plan, people will be, it's kind of like when people are willing to help you when it looks like you're working, when you're trying to figure things out, when you're actually helping yourself. So if you have a plan, and then number 2, if you're writing things down so you can kind of back up this plan so you know if you're following the plan, because if you're not writing it down, you know, things slip in there. You eat things, you drink things, you do things that you forget about. And then when you're going back and you're like, well, this isn't really working, you're not adding that data in. So I would say to finish this up, you know, figure out, if you want to make this work, figure out which plan works for you, if you need a plan, how detailed your plan needs to be, and write it all down. Then if things are not working for you, it's easy for you to go ask questions. It's easy for you to go get help, because you've got information to give the person to help you. You've got like, okay, this is what I do. This is my plan. This is what I've been doing. Here's my food journal for the last 2 weeks. And then that's data right there. Analytics. You can go in there. That's it. That's written down in black and white. There's no guesswork. There's no maybes, ifs, ands, and buts. You can go back in and say, okay, well, this is it. You're doing too much of this, or you're not doing enough of this. You probably need to do this. So anyhow, just something to think about. Hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Peace.